Hi, Carol Ann. Good work here. All of your colors match where they need to. There are some nice results here with assignment 2. With assignment 3, I like the right side set. I wonder if you could manage value on the left, making the center swatch look a little less light. Now, with the left set, I can see what you're trying to do. I took that left backdrop and experimented. I found that a light tone of magenta blue or violet worked out pretty well to help those two center swatch colors look more alike. Hi, Betty. All of the colors match that need to here. Nice work with your assignment too. You've got some striking color sets. I'd like to suggest to everyone that you might use these color sets you've come upon for assignment 2 and employ those with a creative design of your own, sort of like what Basil did, especially like this top right set. Now, with assignment 3, I think Carol was having the same problem. There are little signs of the template falling apart, so the solution to that is to take your colors and use them in a new copy of the template. Um, you know, the left side set looks okay, but I wonder if those colors are awfully similar to start with. And I would like to add that I am looking at your work in the design software. I'm looking at it in Photoshop, and that's the best place to see the work and see the colors that were intended. Also, my screen is color calibrated, and I know that there can be little disparities between what you see on your screen and what I see on mine. Now, with the right side set, I think you're going in a good direction. I'd like to suggest that you could lighten the left side backdrop in order to make the swatch look less light. Hi, Natalie. This is a neat presentation with your assignment 2. You know, there's just one set where I can't get a color match with the swatches, and that's the top right one. I do think your other color sets look good, and you've got the concept. Now, with assignment 3, you have done twice the work. But there's also a problem here. In fact, there are a couple. Let's see. With the left sets, I can't get color matches between the swatches and the color swatch below. And the color swatches below ought to be butted side by side so we can see how different they are in truth. You know, like the example that was given. So, let's see. It looks like with the bottom right set, you're headed in the right direction, but I'd endeavor to make that left swatch look darker by lightening its backdrop. Hi, Blueford. Things look good here. I want to take a quick look at the top left set in assignment 2. There you've got backdrops that are similar in value and saturation. And for the best effect, I'd recommend that you vary 2 of the 3 factors between the 2 backdrops. So we've got hue, value, and saturation as our 3 factors. Now, with assignment 3, things look pretty good. One thing I note is that on the left, the right swatch is the lighter of the 2. When you put that on a dark background, it exaggerates the light value. So I'd use a darker background for the left swatch instead. Now, I think with a right set, it wouldn't be a bad idea to desaturate the right swatch. So I'd use a more saturated backdrop to achieve that. Mike, your presentation is neat and your colors match where they need to. Things look good with assignment 2. And I like that top right set, Lee. With assignment 3, the left set looks good. Those look all more alike in the contexts of the backdrops. With the right set, well, I think you could manage value a little better. The left side swatch is looking too light. And I'm also thinking that what you want to do with that left side swatch is add red. So rather than use a red backdrop, you might try a cyan one, or maybe a tone of cyan. Hi, Nicole. Good work with your assignment too. I especially like that bottom left set. Now let's take a look at assignment 3. Notice that with the left set, the lighter values on the right. Now to make that lighter value appear darker, it's got to go on a very light backdrop, like maybe even a color very close to white. Let's take a look then at the second set on the right. Here the matter is managing hue. So if you want that yellow center swatch to look more orange, something you could try is using a blue backdrop. Hi Glennis, this is a neat presentation. Your colors match where they need to. With assignment 2, your best set is the bottom right one. And let's look at why. First, there's a value shift between the backdrops. It's really dramatic too. And there's also a saturation shift. So this is something I'd suggest you concentrate on. There are 3 factors: value, saturation, and hue. I would alter 2 of those with each pair of backdrops for the greatest effect. Now with assignment 3, your left set looks great. With your right set, I'm thinking the right swatch looks a little bit light. So, I'd lighten the backdrop, and I'd also try a blue backdrop in order to get that swatch looking a little more orangey, because blue is orange's complement. Hi, Tamara. I believe you have an emergency situation with an extension, and I'd like you to revise this work. I'm not getting color matches with all of your swatches in assignment 2, and with assignment 3, we need to see the swatches below also. Plus, with each set, your color backdrops should be butted next to each other. So take a look at the samples and revise. Marissa, this is a neat presentation and your colors all match where they need to. Good work with assignment 2. I especially like the subtlety of the top right set. Now, let's look at assignment 3. You're dealing with swatches with different hues, which is daring. You haven't quite juggled things as well as you might though, so let's see what could be done. I think you want to add magenta to the left side swatch in the left set. So that might happen if you had a green backdrop, right? Green is the complement of magenta on the digital wheel. And what I do with the right set first, I think, is try color subtraction on the right side using the same hue as your swatch, but maybe a slightly lighter value. I'd tinker with that. Hi Nicole, this is a neat presentation and your RGB values match where they need to. With assignment 2, I especially like those violets in the bottom right set. With assignment 3, your left set looks good. With your right set, I think you could stand to try to add some red to the center swatch on the right. And for that, I'd use a cyan backdrop. And you might need a tone of cyan because it's kind of a light value color. Remember that on the digital color wheel, cyan and red are complements, and we are here working in RGB color. Hi Jeff, you've got the idea here with assignment 2. I like the bottom right set best of all there. However, you don't have an exact color match with those 2 reds, but it's not far off. Now, looking at assignment 3, I want to study the left set. Okay, so when you put blue on a yellow backdrop, it's making the blue bluer. And I think what would work better here is if you put the blue on a green backdrop, which would tend to make the blue look like it had a cast of magenta, more like that violet across the way that you want to match it to. Kim, good work here. I like your muted colors. RGB values match where they need to. The only little thing I'd say is maybe with the second set in assignment 3, the left swatch could be made to look a little darker, and that would mean the backdrop would need to go lighter. Jennifer, your RGB values all match where they need to. I especially like that bottom left set in assignment 2. And in assignment 3, the left set is bugging my eyes out, but I think it's good.